I am 82 years old, and I have something in my house that I have not used in 3 years. It cost me $8,000, and today it sits in my window collecting dust. I stopped using it because I found a much cheaper way to keep my home comfortable. For years, I believed air conditioning was the only solution. Every summer, my electric bill kept getting higher, and I accepted it because I thought there was no alternative. Then, one summer, my electric bill arrived, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Nearly $500 for a single month just to keep a modest house cool. I looked at that bill and thought, how can anyone on a retirement income afford this year after year? My daughter suggested installing a new air conditioner. She said everyone uses one and that it would save money in the long run. So I saved for months and finally bought a new energy-efficient unit. It cost around $8,000 with installation. I thought my problem was solved. The house was cooler, but my electric bill barely improved. In fact, some months it became even higher because I was using the AC every day. That's when I realized something. I wasn't just paying for electricity. I was paying for maintenance, repairs, and eventually another replacement. Over many years, that adds up to an enormous amount of money. So I started searching for other ideas. I watched videos, read articles, and learned about a technique people have used long before modern air conditioning existed. It's called evaporative cooling. The basic idea is simple. When water evaporates, it absorbs heat from the surrounding air. That's why wet skin feels cooler when a breeze blows across it. I wondered if that same principle could help cool my home. I decided to test it because it cost almost nothing. I bought a 5-gallon bucket for $3. Everything else I already had. I filled the bucket with ordinary tap water and placed it where air from a fan could move across the surface. The fan wasn't creating cold air. It was simply moving air over the water. As the water slowly evaporated, it absorbed heat, and the moving air felt cooler than before. I kept experimenting with the setup, moving the fan, changing its direction, and trying it in different rooms until I found what worked best. Then I added another bucket in a different part of the house. I also changed one important habit. Instead of keeping my windows closed all night, I opened them after sunset, whenever the outdoor air became cooler. During the night, fresh, cool air flowed through the house. Early the next morning, before the sun became strong, I closed the windows and curtains to keep that cooler air inside. That simple routine made a noticeable difference throughout the day. The fans helped circulate the air, making every room feel more comfortable. I already owned the fans, so there was almost no extra cost. After using this setup for a while, I compared my electricity bills. The difference surprised me. Instead of running the air conditioner all day, I relied mostly on fans, airflow, and evaporation. My electric costs dropped dramatically compared to the previous summer. For someone living on a fixed retirement income, those savings meant a lot. It wasn't just about money. I liked the quieter house. I liked depending less on expensive equipment, and I liked knowing that if my air conditioner ever stopped working, I still had another way to stay reasonably comfortable. Now I want to be honest. This is not magic. It is not a replacement for air conditioning in every situation. If you live somewhere with extremely humid air, evaporative cooling becomes much less effective because the air already contains a lot of moisture. If temperatures become extremely high, an air conditioner will usually cool a home much better. But if you live in a dry climate, or if you're simply trying to reduce how often you use your AC, this method may be worth trying. It costs very little to experiment. You also need to remember that buckets must be refilled as the water evaporates. You'll need to open and close windows at the right times, and you shouldn't expect your home to feel ice cold. The goal is comfort, not turning your living room into a refrigerator. Many people forget that homes stayed comfortable for generations before modern air conditioning became common. People relied on shade, airflow, thick curtains, cool nighttime air, and simple techniques that worked with nature instead of against it. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the easiest to overlook. I'm not saying everyone should throw away their air conditioner. I'm simply saying there may be ways to reduce how much you depend on it. For me, even using the AC less often made a meaningful difference in my monthly expenses. At 82 years old, I think differently than I did decades ago. I no longer care about owning the newest technology just because everyone else does. I care about practical solutions. I care about stretching my retirement income, and I care about finding simple ways to make life easier without spending unnecessary money. My air conditioner is still there. Most days it stays turned off, not because it doesn't work, but because I don't always need it. If you're curious, try a small experiment in your own home. Set up a fan, improve your airflow, take advantage of cooler nighttime temperatures, and see whether it makes your house more comfortable. Compare your electric bill after a few weeks. You might discover that even small changes can make a noticeable difference. If you decide to try it, I'd love to hear how it worked for you. Leave a comment sharing your experience, your climate, and whether you noticed any improvement. And if you enjoy practical ideas that help save money around the house, subscribe for more videos like this. Sometimes the best solutions aren't the most expensive ones. Sometimes they're the ones we've been overlooking all along.